I do have an opening statement that I have to read,
Okay.
and then it's strictly on you. You got the questions. I can ask them if you want, but it's just going to be verbatim what I sent to you, and then you can talk freely. You don't need to be nervous or anything because I'm just me.
Okay.
Okay, so Sensei Blake, is that what I can call you?
The sensei, Miss
That's
Kim, professor.
Professor. Yep. Okay. So thank you for being here today. I want to begin by acknowledging your discipline, longevity, and integrity of your martial arts journey. Whew. Your work represents more than rank or achievement. It represents a life lived in relationship with discipline, responsibility, and self-knowledge. Woo, that's a mouthful. At the
Yes.
Gladiator Advocate, we're interested not only in performance, but in what performance asks of the human being over time, how identity, authority, and pressure are carried in the body and the mind across different seasons of life. When we use the word arena, we mean any space where people are evaluated, ranked, and expected to perform under visible standards. Martial arts is a powerful arena because it shapes both the outer body and the inner self. That's very unusual in the sports arenas. Today's conversation isn't about spectacle or resume highlights, even though you can do that. It's about lived experience and what you've learned by staying disciplined, by entering the arena later in life. And that's a big part of our study. And I'll tell you about that later.
Okay.
And by carrying leadership with humility, our hope is that your insight helps others understand not just how to enter arenas, but how to remain whole within them. So that's the whole statement, and you can take the floor however you want to do it. I can ask you questions, or you can just talk freely.
Uh, First of all, thank you very much for reaching out. I feel that I do have a story to tell. It's from a very humble point of view. Um, I do have a couple cents, not full dollars, just from my standpoint. Since I did, like you said, enter the arena at a uh, advanced age.
Advanced age, yeah, maturity.
So yeah, you kind of step on the mats, boots running or boots on the ground. There's no turning back. You start out with intention, right? You're intentional. There's no okay, I can just go to something else and do a thousand things
Different thing,
and
yeah.
still have time,
Hmm,
right?
hmm, hmm.
So it's something that I wanted to do when I was 13. And my dad said, well, girls don't do that. Um, Girls, you need to refine yourself. You need to take the curls out of your hair before you leave the door, things like that.
Okay.
So when I was 41 and I was sitting at the table during Thanksgiving at one of my friends and mentor, Dr. Brenda Lloyd Jones, there's always a discussion. There's no other conversations. There's always these discussions. So she asked me, "What was one of the things that you did not actualize growing up that you felt that that
Hmm.
you know wanted to look back and
Hmm.
regret?" So I told about my martial arts. I wanted to do martial arts at 13. And she says, well, what's stopping you now? I
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay. So at 42, I stepped on a mat um, in the dojo, and 5 minutes into the drill session, oh my gosh, I was so winded. I stepped off the mat. Excuse me. I went to the restroom and I cried. I said, what
Really?
is wrong with me? I'm 42 years old and I'm crying these big, ugly tears. I must have stayed in there like 10, 15 minutes. I said, I'm going to go back out there. I'm going to finish up and I'm never coming back again. This is crazy. So I stepped out, and of course, God sent Mike Collins. He noticed me as I came out. My eyes must have been teared up and puffy.
Hmm.
And he looked at me and he pointed. He's like,
What was that meaning?
"You can do it.
Oh, you
You
can
can
do
do
it.
it." I was like, "You can do it." So I kept on, kept on. And sure enough, I did it. Um,
Amen.
yeah,
Amen.
a couple. They don't give you your white belt like the first day because they know
Uh-huh.
that you could probably not come back.
Not come back.
But man, after that third day, I got my white belt, and you couldn't tell me anything. I
It was
looked in
gone,
it,
man.
and I was like, okay.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, that's so good. What did you do before? That's not part of the questions, but what did you do to feel you obviously put a lot of time into this sport. What did you do with that time before you entered that arena?
At Well, I was always athletic. Um, in high school, I played volleyball, basketball, um, and I excelled at those sports. I did
Hmm.
a little track until I pulled my hamstring.
Hmm.
In college, I just decided, hey, I like to run, so that wasn't a good idea. Um,
So you played sports in college?
I played volleyball
Okay,
um,
okay.
in
Where did you go to college?
Hiram College in Hiram, Ohio.
Hiram,
Yeah,
Ohio. Okay,
yes.
okay. So are you from Ohio?
I am from Ohio.
Hiram?
Hiram College in Hiram, Ohio.
And you're from a place called Hiram or somewhere
Oh,
else
I
in
am
Ohio?
from the Cleveland area.
Okay, okay.
I relocated from Richmond Heights, Ohio, to
Wow.
Oklahoma in
Wow.
1999. Yeah,
89. Well, thank you for
99.
coming. Look, thank you for coming to Oklahoma.
It was a game changer because it was when I got offered to relocate with British Petroleum, it was a hard choice. I mean, we sat around and I prayed with my mom and my sisters, and during that prayer session, whether or not I should accept the relocation, um, a cousin of mine, just out of the blue, came in. We hadn't seen him in years.
Hmm.
um, he came in and he shared a story of how God delivered him. He was left for dead. He was beaten, attacked on the street. He was left for dead, and he didn't know what he would walk into. But he was on fire with the with the Holy Spirit
Mm.
and joined in with our prayer. And once he found out, what we were praying for,
Hmm.
he said, "Go." He said, go do this." He says, "If your cousin has, visit that area, he has some place to come. You should
Hmm.
take that opportunity."
Mm.
And I was like, "Oh man, okay." So the
Mm.
next step, I was like, I had to ask my husband, because he has a career as well. If
So
he
you
says,
got with your sisters and your mother before you got with your husband?
well, he knew about it,
Okay,
but
okay.
he hadn't said yes or no.
Yes or no? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I said, well, I need to revisit and let him know, hey, I need to give my response.
Uh-huh.
What's
Uh-huh.
the response? I said, if he says, let's go, let's go. And
Uh-huh.
he's like,
Uh-huh.
you know what? Yes, let's go. Let's do a change. I was like, what?
Well, what was he doing? I'm getting way off track, but this is a great
Oh,
testimony, you know?
hmm. So he was a welder,
Okay.
which he was able to find. a job welding here as
Yeah,
well.
he could find a job. As long as he speaks the language, he can
Yes,
find a job.
exactly.
That's good.
Exactly.
That's good. That is so good.
Mhm.
Woo. Okay, so you can finish. I'm not
Mhm.
wanting to rush you.
Oh, that's okay.
Uh,
So we were here, and we started out. I wanted to my son, who at that time, um, let's see, that's 99, so he was 13, I believe, and I wanted him to finish out his martial arts. Um, and again, I was 13, so he's 13. Um, I want him to finish out his martial arts, so we found a school for him to finish out his martial arts.
in
So
Ohio or here?
in Oklahoma,
In Oklahoma.
yes. So he did not want to finish out. He's got started in basketball, but my youngest son, the next year, he entered the
Okay.
martial arts arena. And then my oldest son came back.
Came back.
Yeah, but he's the one that ended up being a world champion kickboxer. Oh,
Shut up. What's his name?
Randy Boom Boom Blake.
We need to interview him
Okay.
if he
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, he did not. He's like, oh, I can't do both. He started like martial basketball more.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
So I said, you can do both. You can do both. Um, so they both ended up being black belts, right?
Mm.
So then we fast forward to that moment. Once they got their black belts that same year is when I had the conversation with my mentor, Dr. Brenda Lloyd Jones, because I was like, oh, they became black belts, something that I wanted to do. So that reminded me that I really wanted my black belt as well.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
So you just take that black belt off and spank that butt when you want to. No. No, they
Yeah.
sound like wonderful young men.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's so
Yeah.
good. That's so good. So if you're finished, and I don't want to cut you short, but when you
Mm-hmm.
get finished, we're gonna go right into those questions.
You could go right into the questions.
Okay, so the first one is when people see rank and achievement, they see discipline and mastery. What they often don't see is what that level of performance costs.
Mm-hmm.
Over time, what did your body, nervous system, or personal relationships have to adapt to in order to sustain excellence? That's a hard question, ain't it?
That's a lot. That's a mouthful.
It is. So any part of that, and in all of these, because I just wanted you to have some questions so that you would know
Yeah,
where we were headed. So if
yes.
you want to
So
take
that's
any
fine.
part of any one of these, you don't have to
Okay.
answer the whole question, but I
Yeah.
basically is saying over time.
Mm-hmm. And over time, because it kept asking me, my body kept asking me, my mind kept asking me, is this something you want to pursue? The first time, I mentioned when I stepped on a mat, and I
Uh-huh.
had to cry those ugly, ugly
Uh-huh.
tears, right?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And I just kept going for me. It's something that I wanted to do. The next time, I believe, was when I was injured,
Okay.
actually. I got um, I was competing in two different disciplines by then. I was competing in sports, karate, as well as Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Um, and some point, it flipped. Like I was one of the first. Um, there were few females competing in jiu-jitsu, right?
Okay.
So they matched me with a young lady. She went on. She was like a MMA type person. She was really difficult. She was a wrestler. I didn't know that she was a state champion wrestler, so I stepped in to the mat with her. And seconds later, I was on my neck.
Oh
And
no.
I remember my body going stiff. right? And I got up, and I remember the referee asked me if I wanted to continue. I was like, "Did you see me? I'm on my neck." So I recovered. I stayed on the mat. I recovered, but I did not compete in jiu-jitsu. After that, I competed in stand-up more so than
Mhm.
jiu-jitsu.
Mhm.
Um, but I got closer and closer to achieving my black belt. I didn't know that I was going to achieve my black belt. But a friend of mine is like, your skills are really good. You ought to compete in the master worlds. And I'm
Mhm.
thinking, the last time I competed, I was on my neck and I competed with somebody that was um, more than 30 years less my age. And she
Wow.
was like, no, you compete with someone that's your age, right? I was like, oh. So I competed um, in that. Um, but I want to mention before that, um, the thing that mentally prepared me um, for that journey. Uh, I was in a uh, attack on my mom's house. It was a failed attempt um, to enter her home. I was visiting her. She was on hospice
Mm.
at home, and I would go back to Ohio to
Mhm.
compete. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, to visit her.
To visit her, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, like the day after I arrived, um, at 2 o'clock in the morning, someone came knocking on her door. I looked out the window, and there was this looked like a woman standing there, watching out. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, what's happening? And my sister was staying with her. So I was like, hey, should be someone coming. She's like, no, no, no. Just to rewind a little bit, I had gotten medication for her because
Mhm.
she was feeling her allergies. So she had taken some allergy medicine. So she was out. So I'm walking back and forth, and, they're knocking on the door. Um, and I get the phone and I dial 911 um, after I noticed that there was three guys. So
Mm.
I'm heading, to the door. I've got 911 on the phone. So they begin to shoot through the window. She was
Mm.
downstairs at the time because it was more comfortable for her to be downstairs. She couldn't go up and down the steps.
Mhm.
So the windows compromised, they were going to come through. And on the left side, I heard a voice saying, she's going to die anyway. What are you doing? And then on this side, I hear, that's my mom. What are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to save her. I'm talking to the 911 person. I go down to my mom and I kneel to her and I was going to drag her off her bed. And she's
Mhm.
like, they're shooting. And I heard a voice say, be still, be still. And I'm talking, to the lady, and she said, "Oh, I hear the gunshots." And at that time, on this side, the bullets start coming through the wall
Wow.
on this side. But then I see everything was lit up. I didn't know. I'd never been in a shootout. I'm thinking the bullets lit the room up.
Okay.
But after everything happened, I knew that the Holy Spirit was there because the way that the bullets came through, they came through her her headboard.
Uh.
It came through the wall. The bullets were everywhere except for where we were, and they were just
Wow.
laying. So when the police got there, and they were there like that, like time had just moved.
Mhm.
The lady, oh no, she's like, the police are there. The police are there. but they could not find these men. There were like 9 cop cars, like within seconds.
Mm.
And when the cops got there, they said that they normally um, bring chalk to a scene like this. The room was, you
The
could tell,
room was so full of somebody's usually dead.
yeah, somebody's usually dead.
Oh
So,
wow. Oh
yeah,
wow.
so after that, with my martial arts, like right now, I'm writing a book because it'll be the 10th anniversary of that. So I
Mm.
have a book that I want to come out next year.
Mm.
And I want it to come out the day that it happened 10
It
years
happened.
later.
Well, I'm a publisher, so if you want me to help you publish that book, if you don't have anyone, that'd be
Okay,
great.
I don't have anyone yet.
Well, I
I
do.
have someone that want to, but I,
Okay,
I
well,
don't have anyone yet.
well, there you go. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna try to usurp what they have going on, but
no, it's
I'm available.
yeah. I want to, because I want to get this out there. I feel
Uh-huh.
that God wants this to reach as many people as possible. He wants me to tell my story. And
Okay.
that's what my mom told me before she left the earth, which was maybe um, a couple weeks after that.
Oh
She
wow.
left the earth. She says, it's not time for me to leave here. God told me that He want me to tell a story.
Mm.
And I believe that's the story that He wants me to tell. But that um, dealing with that whole scene questioned my abilities to do martial arts because when that guy, when they shot, when those guys shot through the house like that, knowing that I had skills to
Mm.
protect, and one of the things that through my mind, I'm thinking, if I do this, I do that, and I do that. The more that I thought, my heart was beating so fast that it was in my
Mm.
stomach. And I
Mm.
says, well, I'm going to fight for my mom. You know, if we
Mm.
die, they're going to find their DNA. I was,
Mm.
I was,
Mm.
I guess
Mm.
that's how they're going to scratch. They're going to find their DNA in my fingernails.
Right.
But like I said, that event questioned my ability to protect because every time something, you know, made that sound, gave me a, a jerk, a
Mm.
knee
Startled.
jerk, a startle, right? So
Mm.
I stepped on a mat continuously. It humbled me,
Mm.
to step on a mat, continue to learn the consistency, to continue. So after that, things came. I became the first female black belt in jiu-jitsu in the state of Oklahoma. I became a world champion. I became a recipient of Hall of Fames.
Mm.
I got a presidential award. I mean, just people start coming, things start coming after
Mm.
that. So I felt
Mm.
that God kept asking me, do you want this?
Mm.
From the time that my mentor asked me, what did I not compete
Mm.
or complete
Mm.
um, as a child that I,
Mm.
regretted not doing
Regret. Yeah.
as an
Mm.
adult?
So why did the men try to break in your mom's house? Was she
I
wealthy or
No. it's,
what was they why would they shoot like that?
it's like it was weird. I mean, that was my my place of safety. It
Uh-huh.
changed. It was. I don't know if you know anything about the Huff riots um, back in the '60s. It was the if I could say it was the middle of the hood. I mean, we grew up there. It was
Uh-huh.
her house was one of the few homes that was left standing on the street.
Oh, okay.
Um, there were they call them projects, right?
Uh-huh. I
They were
remember.
built like across the street, and they had those. They were
Uh-huh.
fenced in. I'm like,
Right.
well, I think they were protecting, you know, who was left in the neighborhood from the people that they pulled that lived in those projects. Her house, it was well lit. She had her porch light on. Um, so I don't know if it was a mistaken
Yeah.
home. If they picked that house, I mean, pick one of the darker homes to go to. But there was nothing. I mean, we would visit my sisters, and the cars would pull up, but it was nothing like tons of cars. It wasn't like in and out, like there was something going on, like a transactions. We visited our mom, there might have been 2 or 3 cars in her driveway. But hours before that happened, my nieces and nephews, the house was full because they were visiting. I was visiting from out of town, and they were all, babies. So they had left like at 10:30, late that day. They had come from church, and we ate together. But for them to pick my mom's house, she was the jewel of the home. There was nothing in her home. She had a television, 19-inch television,
Okay.
which was there, that didn't get shot.
It didn't get shot. Okay,
The
good.
pictures of us didn't get shot. I have photos of the bullet shots in the wall that, pictures of Christ, and the bullet holes were like right next, to these things that did not get shot. Her head was laying, right there, and there's bullet shots. I was kneeling right there. The bullets came. They just like through the bed where I knelt. The bullets fell out, and the bullets were just ricocheting. There were shells on the outside that the detective recovered the next day, and he didn't find the bullet holes. I mean, the bullets, the actual bullets. He saw the holes, but the bullets were not recovered. But the scene that I saw, and when I go back, 2020 hindsight, it just looks like wings, like a spray. The wings were reflecting the bullets. I
The
didn't know.
bullets? Wow.
So
That's a big deal.
after it stopped, the light came into a ball and it ascended into the ceiling, like it just
Wow.
disappeared.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So you had your, I've written a book about how Angel of God saved me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm getting ready to publish it. I published it.
Okay.
Anyway, this is not about me, but I get it. How about
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
that?
It's true, and
Uh,
that's another confirmation, for me to mention that here, and for you to say that you
oh,
had the
just
same experience and you're publishing. So that's
yeah.
another confirmation I should publish,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm gonna do for the rest. So I wrote that book 13 years ago, and I was
Mm-hmm.
self-published. But
Okay.
I'm getting ready to upload it to Amazon and make it available for the world,
Okay.
that. So I'm just saying that I get it. You don't have to worry about somebody resisting that the Holy Spirit can save you or
Mhm.
send an angel.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
In the
um,
blink of an eye,
in the blink of an eye,
because
yes.
I could tell you it was just seconds,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But that whole event, just thinking about it, is fuel.
Uh-huh.
Um, it makes me stronger from within.
Oh, okay.
Um, I've been through the fire, you know. So, and
So
there
you
was a
didn't get burned, didn't even
it didn't
smell
get
like
burned. There
smoke.
was a fourth man in the fire, which
Okay,
which our
yes.
church has written, and whole album about being in the fire, and it has
Uh-huh.
resonated with me
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
these past months that it's been out. About the fourth man in the fire.
I've heard a song about the fourth man in the fire, but I think that's like a big gospel song. That's
Mm-hmm.
kind of, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
that might be your church. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
Transformation Church.
I've been
Yep.
hearing this song
Mm-hmm.
about the fourth man in the fire. And it
Yes.
resonates with me as well.
Yes.
Because I was in a whole bunch of stuff and the fourth man went in the fire came.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you entered martial arts with a fully formed adult identity. In what ways did the arena reshape you, your thoughts, who you thought you were?
Mm-hmm.
And in what way did you consciously resist letting it define you entirely? And so that's a two-part question,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Okay. So we'll backward engineer that one. We'll answer your second one first.
Okay.
So, like I said, by entering the arena, knowing that I have so much time, right? So who can I impact from the humble place that I entered the arena?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the top dog. I'm not. Um, I've done some things. I have some accolades, but they're not the top. I mean, there's some people that I've met in my journey, just recently, just phenomenal, you know, women and
Mm-hmm.
men in the martial arts. But seeing the people around me, just the coming from that place of inner peace, inner energy, and people see that and they are receptive of that energy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just seeing young girls, the first time that I noticed it, I used to wear pink gi to my tournaments when
Mm-hmm.
I did sport karate, and just having little girls point to their dad, there she is,
Mm-hmm.
having their fathers come up and for them to be introduced to me. Um, it was like, wow, this little warriors,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what men want to get to do, that have their young daughters, be able to protect themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just having my granddaughter, who's is 4, she looks up to me. um, yeah, she calls me G-Ma, just to know that I'll be able to pour my skills into her,
Right.
and she'll be able to look back on the things, my accolades, right?
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, like in my office, she comes in my office all the time to see this, but to go back and read articles is important to me. Um, to be listed, in certain Hall of Fames, just to have it where she can Google me or Chat GPT me or whatever else is coming along, where she can look up and show her children and her children's
Mm-hmm.
children.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's me. My mom didn't take a lot of pictures, so there's very few pictures of me out there, but there's pictures of me now that will go out um, into the internet, and my grandchildren and their children's children and their children's children will be able to go back and see, you know, their Gmail.
Isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so many women who achieve high levels still hesitate to fully claim authority,
Mm-hmm.
um, even when others clearly recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a moment when you realized you were operating with authority before you felt permission to own it intentionally? Internally, not intentionally, internally.
Internally, it's a difficult moment because martial arts is a man's sport,
Right.
right? So
Wrong.
no, it,
Wrong.
it is a arena where men come in. It is
Right.
wrong because
Right.
there was
Well,
some,
what I'm thinking is
yeah,
that because I took some karate too. And
uh-huh.
it's the great equalizer,
It
Some
is.
guys much
It
bigger
is.
than me better watch out. Don't come
Right.
here
Right.
like that,
In the same here.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Um,
saying.
hmm
So, but anyway, you were talking and I don't want to interrupt. Shut up, Myrna.
hmm
Go ahead.
So, okay, so let me bring it out to a different. um, aspect. I was the wrong old lady to mess with
Right. Oh, I
on
love
the
it.
mat, right? Um, my son eventually became my sensei, right? So there was a lot of by him being a young instructor, there was a lot of young men that wanted to train underneath him. You know, a lot of teenagers,
Mhm.
a lot of them hard headed. Once they learned a combination, they just thought they were the baddest, you
Mhm.
know, dudes in the gym,
Mhm.
right? So when they sparred me, it was always a different,
Yeah.
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 So I hit harder than most women.
Well, I say
So,
you know where to hit too.
right, because they felt, you know, once they're a teenager, they felt that certain spots of a woman were soft, so they want to aim there.
Oh
And I was
wow.
like, did you really try to hit me there? Oh my gosh, you tried to hit me there again. Okay, so it's fair game. Let's try.
I like
They,
that.
they kick you, but
Yeah.
not damage you, but they make you feel it.
Hmm.
So, and then follow up with some other punches and kicks, you know, the flurry. So then
Mm.
that humbled them and earned their respect.
Their respect, yes.
Hmm. But there's noise, especially being the first female jiu-jitsu black belt
Hmm.
in the state. You know, there's noise that you have the silence from the inside, right? So they have the C. So a lot of my jiu-jitsu, because I competed at each level, right?
Okay.
So there wasn't, I went alone, so there wasn't people filming things,
Uh-huh.
but there were, there's medals, there's
Uh-huh.
people talking, but
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of people that didn't see, because a
Uh-huh.
lot of times people film things and people are able to judge
Right.
that way. But I keep on, keeping on. I compete a little less than I did, you know, coming out. You know, there was times I competed 4 times a month,
Mm.
sometimes five, you know, sometimes
Right.
back to back. But, you know, now it's, you know, 4 times a year. So,
Okay.
and I'm happy with that because I
Okay.
want my body to be able to train my grandchild and my grandchildren to show
Right.
them some of the skills that I've learned.
Wow. That's big stuff there. That is
Hmm.
huge because you're talking about generations,
Yes.
multiple generations, and
Hmm.
it's just amazing. Because that's some of the stuff that I'm looking at. When I say over time, I'm actually tracking over generations, parent to father to son to son
Hmm.
to son. But that's too big to explain to people. That's too much
Hmm.
information and it
Hmm.
just overpowers them. But I'm looking at that.
And it takes work because I still train. I still train 4 to 5 days a week. You know, on the jiu-jitsu a couple times, um, a couple hours a day. Um, but I recover. That's the secret.
Right,
That's the key.
right.
Recovery. You
Recovery.
know, I'm doing, cold plunging. I'm doing the hot tub. I'm doing the sauna. I'm doing the steam room. I'm doing the assisted stretching. Um,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
so I'm doing things to recover my body.
Very good. Humility is often praised in martial arts.
Hmm.
How do you distinguish between humility as a grounding discipline and humility as a learned strategy to avoid backlash or being too much, being perceived as too much?
When you start, um, I'm very faith based person, and I come off with that. I'm not afraid to share, all glory to God.
Mm-hmm.
It's not me. And that's a humility in
That is.
itself.
Mm-hmm.
When people start saying, I did
Mm-hmm.
this and I do this. I'm all about that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
this and I this, I this, I. So it
I.
becomes a ego
Mm-hmm.
things, and that's kind
Mm-hmm.
of perceived as
Mm-hmm.
not being humble
Mm-hmm.
and too much for
Mm-hmm.
some people to handle.
Mm-hmm.
Because on one extreme, you have some people who I want to reach. I want to have people to bring out the best person that they can be.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start saying I, and you have somebody who has not begun their journey, who have not reached their potential that they can reflect in this earth, they start saying, well, I can't be that person like
Mm-hmm.
you. And then you have people who are on the other extreme to be very egotistical. And they are, okay, you're not as good as me, and you'll never be as good as me. So you're like, I don't need to be as good as you. We're on this, we're talking on the same platform. We're doing
Right.
the same things. I don't need to be as good as you.
That sounds like the Karate Kid. Like, people who are very braggadocious.
Yes. And the Bible tells you, you shouldn't think more of yourself than you are. So there you have it.
There you have it. That's good. So, in environments where rank and reputation matter, pressure often becomes internal.
Hmm.
How do you learn to recognize when discipline was serving you versus when it was quietly consuming you?
So I know
That's a question for
every,
only a
yeah,
master could answer. You
every,
have to be a master to even get there, I think.
yes, exactly. So every time you step on the mat, like I said, when you step on the mat, it's intentional. You
Hmm.
know, sometimes when it's time to spar,
Hmm.
sometimes I'm sparring every round. Boom, 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 boom. Back, I'm sparring every round. And sometimes I need to relax and look, but it's intentional. I'm
Hmm.
not just sitting there, saying, "Oh my gosh, I wish I could do it." Oh, I'm hurting. I'm paying attention to how other people respond. I'm paying attention to matches, other people.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, so
So are you having to take painkillers if you're in pain?
I take lots of supplements. I take like MSM, uh,
Send
um,
me a list of them supplements. I'm gonna need that. I'm going to get that today.
turmeric, just
Uh-huh.
things that I have a lady, Miss Rose. She reads my blood, every few months. She tells me if my blood is like on a cellular structure.
Hmm.
Am I deficient here or am I deficient there?
Hmm.
And she recommends certain supplements. Um, so,
Based on what she reads in
mhm,
your blood.
right. And she does a lot of supplements herself. They're not synthetic.
Hmm.
So I'm, getting her supplements as
Uh-huh.
well. A couple of things that I wanted to add um, to my supplement was like collagen and things like that. So I started researching like Black girl um, supplements.
Hmm.
Their deal is that um, the people who test their drugs are people like myself, um, and they're just not of a certain group. So that was intriguing to me. So I just started their supplements, but adding to what I already
What
take.
you already take.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm interested because my blood pressure is way high. I
Mm-hmm.
never had high blood pressure, and then all of a sudden
Mm-hmm.
it's approaching stroke range. And so when I leave this interview, I'm going to, because the blood pressure medication is
Mm-hmm.
something off about it. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm actively searching for that
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle change
Yes.
and
And that's another thing. It is a
yeah,
lifestyle change.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, again, this is about you and not me, but I'm interested in what you're saying, and what you're saying is very important to lots of people and not just me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm saying that to say this is totally relevant.
It is. It is. Because I
Yeah.
eat, when you say lifestyle, is a
Hmm.
change. I became a vegetarian in 2014.
Wow.
And so it's hard for me to get my protein, but I get uh, my protein. I make that
So how do you get it? I mean, is there a favorite
mhm,
way to get protein or a favorite
mhm.
substance that you like that's
Yeah, there's things that you have to count.
ah
I'm a vegetarian. I'm not a vegan. So vegans
mm-hmm,
don't eat eggs. I eat
mm-hmm.
eggs. Eat beans.
What about fish?
I do not eat
Do not
fish. Yeah, I don't eat any meat
in
at
any,
all.
yeah, at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a time where I thought that I probably needed to get back to at least eating fish. Um, but I recaptured my nutrient regiment, where I'm paying more attention to my nutrient intake as
Mm-hmm,
well,
mm-hmm,
where I'm feeling um, energetic, where I'm able to continue um, addressing my joints,
mm-hmm,
my muscles,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
because I am aging.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
I am not that person in the gym that want to be that top person in the gym, because I train with young people.
mm-hmm,
But the most impressive thing about me stepping on the mat, that I'm keeping up and I'm
mm-hmm,
doing what I can do
mm-hmm,
and challenging them that way.
mm-hmm,
So the question to them is, they're hurting as well.
mm-hmm,
So will I be able to do what she is doing
mm-hmm,
when
mm-hmm,
I get
mm-hmm,
older, when I get out of my 20s,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
or if
mm-hmm,
I'm getting out of my 30s or my
mm-hmm,
40s or even
mm-hmm,
my 50s?
mm-hmm,
I like doing this, but I'm hurting. What is she
mm-hmm,
doing that
mm-hmm,
I need to do, to add to my regimen?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that's where that, walking in that authority. I'm still here.
You are still here and performing outstandingly. As your role shifted from primarily performing to teaching and mentoring, what
Mhm,
changed about how you understood power,
mhm,
responsibility, and influence inside the arena? And it don't have to be inside the arena. Power
mhm.
is power.
It is like I said. You have to you have to walk your talk.
You have to
You
walk the
can't talk the talk. A lot of people are talking. We
talking.
live in an age, yeah, not only with people around you, but it's just
Mhm.
so. Um, everybody has a podcast.
Yeah.
Everybody is talking. Everybody wants to be an
24
influencer.
hour news. Yeah.
24 hours, just people,
Talking.
interjecting, just talking. So, sometimes you're the only person that person sees, like even on the religious point of view, sometimes you're the only Bible that somebody's going to open up and
Mm-hmm.
see,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you're saying something and you're doing something that's totally, you know, does
Right.
not connect,
Right. Mm-hmm.
then that's a red flag to
Red
people.
flag.
I
Mhm.
don't want to be a red flag to people. I want to be that calm. Um, when I walk in a room, I want there to be calm.
Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing. When I see you, every time I see you, I'm gonna see a red flag. Don't mess with that woman. Not that I mess with people.
People that know, but people that meet me for the first time, when they see me, they they kind of like, you're not that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're too gentle.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But there
Yeah.
is a switch.
Mm. Okay. Okay. So here's the last question. Young people often enter arenas without being taught how identity, knowing yourself, pressure, and power actually work.
Mm-hmm.
What do you wish someone had explained to you early on? That's a hard question because you didn't start until you
Mm-hmm.
were already
Mm-hmm.
mature.
Yes.
Not about technique, but about how arenas shape the self.
Mm-hmm. And it does. I think, and I like I said, I did figure it out, like, because I wanted to be intentional,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that people, um, with so much influence, they're influenced by others, and
Mm-hmm.
thinking that, oh, I want to be like that person. I want people to see me. If I can just do what that person does, the people around me will like me better, right? But
Mm-hmm.
God made us all unique, and we all have a unique ability. And I think that once people discover their unique ability and become comfortable who God meant for them to be, they are the cool, because nobody can be you.
Nobody can be you.
Nobody can be you. You have something to offer. You just
Mm-hmm.
have to find it. It's not like somebody else, because that comes with all kind of mental issues too, because it can cause you to go off because you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to be that person,
Mm-hmm.
right? And exactly, or better, but you cannot beat that person being them, especially a consistent, disciplined person. You cannot beat them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, if I had to hear that without discovering it, that would be the line. Be
Mm-hmm.
you, do what you can do.
That's good stuff right there.
hmm I might not be able to kick as high, which I can kick pretty high, but not as fast. I might not be fast, but I can do damage.
Mm-hmm.
Where can you do damage? What can you do
Uh-huh.
to
Uh-huh.
execute the
Yeah.
you of you?
Right. Oh, that's good, girl. That's real good. Execute the you of you. I might need to put that on Facebook.
Go ahead.
Have you made? I always credit where I got it from. Whenever I cite someone, I tell where I got it from. That's good.
hmm
Um, and you can tell more about your own insights, what's important. If I haven't given you a chance to, this is another time because I'm finished with the questions and I do have one short blob that I want to tell you. I'm just
Okay.
saying so that if I forget, you say, oh, you wanted to tell me something.
Okay.
But if you just want to, freestyle, you can share whatever you want to share, what's most important or anything.
Okay. So when it comes to the strength and doing things, to moving forward,
Mhm.
the thing that comes to mind is about, um, when Moses split the Red Sea,
Okay.
right? So I always think, because in jiu-jitsu, um, they call, like, the people who are really, like, fast and really go at it, they call them sharks. You want to swim with the sharks, got to
Hmm.
be on it. You're just a guppy, it's all like the fish story. So, and me, I'm like, why should I be afraid to swim with the sharks when my God has made a sea out of a highway.
Huh. Now, yes, there's no reason.
There's no
It's
reason for me to
yeah,
be afraid.
right, right. You're a shark. You're not just swimming with the sharks. You're a shark.
Yes.
That's amazing. So one of the things that I wanted to tell you that this whole firm has, I came out of retirement. I was at home. I'm a retired professor, and
Mhm.
I did independent research
Okay.
on athletes and the arena, and the results were so phenomenal that I literally could not sit in my home and not say, "Hey, y'all, look at this."
Yeah, okay.
Um, and I don't want to go too deep, but so I came up with two theories. Not I, but the Holy Spirit and I definitely helped me.
Mhm.
And one of them is called Gladiator Syndrome of
Mhm.
Communication.
Mhm.
And the other one is called Gladiator Complex.
Mhm.
So I interviewed you strictly under Gladiator Complex.
Okay.
Gladiator Syndrome is what society does to the athlete.
Yes.
And gladiator complex is what's happening inside that
Mhm.
athlete, especially after they leave the arena,
Mm.
while and after, because they're not recovering well. I'm
No.
seeing them panhandling
Mm-mm.
out there. I played for the Packers a couple of years ago, and this year I can't buy food. I mean, they're not recovering well.
Mhm.
So but one of the thoughts that I had as part of gladiator syndrome, which is the one I didn't even mention to you or didn't even ask you any questions under, is that I believe, and it looks like the data is supporting, that our children should not be entering that arena until they're adults.
Mhm.
So what I'm saying is,
Mhm.
if you as a child, you want to play a sport, you should probably practice. And you should probably have a professional coach, somebody who really knows what they're doing. And you should probably not even enter that arena until
Mhm.
you're an adult
Mhm.
because you should be learning how to play the piano while
Mhm.
you're a child. You should be learning how to take the garbage out. You should be learning and what I call communication. You should be learning all of these communication skills
Mhm.
that it takes 30, 40 years to learn in order to operate. And you're throwing a ball.
Yes.
Your bones are not straight. Your muscles haven't developed. You're not developed yet. But
Mhm.
when you get to be an adult and you enter the ring and you've been practicing all these years and you've had a professional coach, you can compete. You're a shark. And you
Mhm.
haven't been broken up. The arena hasn't already tainted you. You're an adult, or you kind of, you're not in such a formative capacity.
Mhm.
You've been raised by your parent. Anyway, I might be going too far, but I'm saying I was a practice girl. My dad was everybody's coach. He wouldn't let me play. I was
Mhm.
on Saturdays when the games were being played. I was at piano lessons. I was in the opera. So I joined the army at 17 in Bay. Let me tell you what. I was a fierce competitor. And I was the only woman much
No.
of the time. But
Yes, ma'am.
to this day, I've never really been injured. I
Mhm.
haven't broken any bones. I haven't really not a real significant injury. So you entering the arena as an adult and becoming world class, that is speaking straight to gladiator syndrome of communication. You learn those communication skills before you enter that arena.
Yes.
So when I speak to a lot of athletes, if I'm not talking about their sport, it's nobody at home in those eyes. I'm looking at you, baby. Can you even hear what I'm saying?
Oh
So
gosh.
So I just wanted you to know that you're kind of making excuse me, you're kind of making, you're hitting in both theories without even trying. Because
Okay.
in Gladiator Complex,
Mm-hmm.
is just like where maybe like maybe like you haven't played your sport
Mm-hmm.
since you were in high school, you're 60 and you're still rudimenting over that pass you
Yeah.
didn't catch in 11th grade. Or maybe you're still doing this and it's been a long time since you played ball. But inside your brain, you're still rehearsing these
Mm-hmm.
things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of, or, horrible things are happening to our children
Yeah.
in these arenas.
It's like the
Horrible things.
it's like the child star syndrome, you
It
know?
is exactly, it's the same
Yeah.
thing. I'm finding that
Yeah.
there's no difference.
It's
Only
no
we're
different.
not calling these children
Mm-hmm.
stars, but
Mm-hmm.
they're child stars. You've hit on it.
They are. They're telling them. They're pushing them. They're making them.
Right.
They're introducing things that children may not. Even like in the gym sometimes. Even the music.
Mm-hmm.
Certain music children shouldn't listen to.
Thank you.
It's not okay to
It's
listen.
rated R or
It's rated
X. Yeah.
it's rated X. But some child stars were able to transform. You're like, oh, remember when they were kids? Oh man, they're a good actor now. But
Mm-hmm.
if you look at their lives, what they did, it
Mm-hmm.
just wasn't about them. They weren't didn't have like lots of yes men
Mm-hmm.
around them, and whatever
Right.
they did
Mm-hmm.
was okay.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
had checks and balances. you know,
Mm-hmm.
their parents and the people around them made them
Mm-hmm.
accountable. And I
Mm-hmm.
think even like with athletes
Mm-hmm.
these days, you see some that are just really, the humble,
Mm-hmm.
if when they take their gi off or
Mm-hmm.
even on the mat, they're not beating their chest
Mm-hmm.
or scream oh and not worrying about the other child,
Mm-hmm.
which your coach probably kill them, break it. If they don't tap, don't holler those things to
Yeah, 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 yeah.
the children. It's the children say, hey, they need to tap, but apply a little more pressure. It's a
Yeah,
way.
but don't break it if you
Hey,
don't,
don't
there's no
don't break it. They should tap.
there's no
Don't use the
reason
word
to,
break it.
yeah, I get
It
it.
will break if they don't tap.
Yeah.
Apply the pressure. Apply to keep applying pressure.
Uh,
And teach that person to tap. If
Tap,
what's going
yeah.
what are the consequences?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Long-term
Long
consequences.
term consequences, and teach them other things. There's life outside the mat.
Right. Okay.
Everybody's not going to be that superstar. Like in NFL, we taught our young men, okay, you do football. We can do football, but there's just so many scholarships. You
Mm-hmm.
know, what do you know? Open a book. What
Right.
can you do beyond your physical? They
Right,
should be
right, right,
well-rounded individuals.
right.
We're building, we should be aspiring to be a well-rounded
Rounded, that's
individual.
exactly what
Our
I'm
children, the children around us, it takes a village. It
right,
should be well-rounded.
right. So I'm that professor that believes that every toy, if you have a
Mm-hmm.
toy that doesn't have a real world purpose,
Exactly. You
you
don't
probably
need.
need to put that toy down. And
Yeah.
because toys and playing
Mm-hmm.
are getting you ready for the real world. I can
Mm-hmm.
tell you people
Mm-hmm.
who I knew on the playground, and I'm looking at them as adults, they're still doing the same
Same
thing,
thing.
kind of, in an adult kind
Mm-hmm.
of way. But I said that to say that, get it together, Myrna. Uh, what you learn on whatever your field of play is, your mat or whatever as a child. I'm gonna use pivot. You pivot in most sports. You learn
Mm-hmm.
how to pivot in one way or another.
Exactly.
I'm saying learn how to take that pivot and make it apply to what's going on in the real
Mm-hmm.
world. Learn how to pivot.
Mm-hmm.
When you get angry, pivot. Go, go, or take that pivot to the courtroom. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just using pivot, but
Mm-hmm.
there are so many techniques. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe you're learning to play so that you can take that technique into your next field of play. Maybe you're not gonna be maybe you're not gonna go to the world champions. Maybe not you're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna be in the NBA, NFL,
Exactly.
but those skill sets that you need.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Exactly.
my speech.
Exactly. Exactly. You should. My mom used to always say, everything that you learn is a feather in your cap, right?
Okay.
So the we know that indigenous people, the person with the most feathers in their cap is the chief,
Mm-hmm.
right? The
Right.
chief. So the master, the one with the knowledge, right? So each technique that I teach, when I teach arrows. So every technique is an arrow, right? You get to stick in your quiver. So when you're competing or when you're practicing, when you're sparring, the more arrows, the more technique that you have in your quiver,
Mm-hmm.
the longer your battle or the
Mm-hmm.
quicker your battle, the
Mm-hmm.
faster,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be able to accomplish what you need
Right.
to accomplish.
Right. Right. Right.
So I like Hunger Games. I said be accurate. She's pulling out. She's accurate.
She's
She can
accurate.
shoot that
Mm-hmm.
her arrow
Oh,
from a
yeah.
distance and be
Mm-hmm.
accurate. That's the way that the techniques or the information that you put into your should be. It should
Right.
be able to apply, like you said. You should be able to apply it. You should be
Mm-hmm.
apply it on the mat, off the mat. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Right. So, you know, one thing I noticed about talking to you is the humility, but someone would be fooled by talking to you. Let me back into this and say it differently. In my life, I've found that if I don't tell people who I am up front, because I'm pretty lethal,
Mm-hmm.
in many ways,
Mm-hmm.
then we're gonna have ourselves a situation. I just need to let you know right up front, I'm Dr. Myrna Roberts, I'm this, I'm that. Because if I don't, there'll be a backlash. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't see you doing that.
Mm-mm. No,
So
no.
you don't get a backlash.
It's it's the way that.
You're on the mat and I'm in society. So I feel like I have to say this or you're going to get burnt later. Because you're
Well,
going to think I'm just some old lady that you can talk
mm-mm,
crazy to.
mm-mm.
No?
It's the
Okay. I
look.
don't see you doing that.
It's the look. Well, it's it's the backup part. If you approach you, I could tell you're well versed in your speech and your words flow from you. But if I start saying things like that, I can show you better than I can tell you.
Girl, I'm having to use all that. I'm having to say, I can show you. Okay, so let me qualify. I have
So,
my husband and his one of his best colleagues is my best friend. And her name is Renee Butler King. And all three of us are PhDs, and but
hmm
they are social workers.
okay.
And for them, they don't tell someone, "Oh, I'm Dr. So and so,"
hmm
unless it is absolutely
Really?
necessary.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then they are using that as a weapon, Okay. And some of the time I can't even hang out with them because my discipline is completely different. My discipline is strategic communication.
Well, that's it.
So
Works for you. Like I said, that's the you of you.
that's the and so
That's
I'm just
for you.
saying that I don't
No.
see you having those kind of
Mm-mm.
struggles at all. You're so humble. And so in my humility, I have to say, hey, I didn't do this, God did it. But but my colleagues and my husband, they just get to just be humble and kind and helpful. And I wish I had that. I mean,
Well,
it's
you'll
not
help
that,
in
I
a
mean, I
different
came to the
way.
table like that, but I mean, I had to physically change and say, look here, you're not dealing with so and so. Let me tell you right now okay, so there you go. I don't see you having to do that, and I'm
Mhm.
really
But
happy.
I like I said, I can't do that. I mean, there has been times where people have pushed me where we have to have a conversation, and I say more than they anticipated.
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
to jump right off I
To
don't
jump
have
right
that.
off. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that
Well, yeah.
ability. That's
Yeah.
not my ability. That's not my superpower.
I hear you. I hear
Yeah,
you.
so that's
Oh, so that girl, you're going
your
somewhere.
superpower.
Yeah.
You say it, it's the same thing, actually. If you say it, you're like, oh, maybe I better not.
Okay. Well, maybe
Right.
I'll
So
try that some more.
yeah,
Maybe I
you
need
have
to
to be
perfect
you.
that.
That's
Yeah.
you.
Well, yeah, the me and me, I
Mhm.
can do that. I don't need to say that. I don't have a need that you better call me doctor. No. I say that to save them. I
Yes.
say that I do that so that they
Mm.
don't get themselves in a situation that we
Well, they
can't
can't.
clean up easily,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And that's how I got into that. And I did a little research on you, and I just admired that you from the onset, that wasn't even something you needed to do. And I don't know. That's that's amazing to me. Because I don't get that luxury. I literally do not.
It's funny because I grew up very quiet. My voice. I'm still looking for my voice. But when I'm teaching from the way that I want to learn, and the things that um that I had a question about this
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
stumbled me,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
it crosses over to other people, like this, what they need
Hmm.
to learn
Hmm. Hmm.
something that they need to learn in
Hmm.
jiu-jitsu. So even
I gotta tell you, I'm gonna have trouble with your interview because of your humility. I'm gonna have trouble putting it in on paper, maybe, probably not. But so much is hidden that I want to be in print. But
that's the quiet storm.
the
It
quiet storm, there
let
you
it
go.
go.
How did I forget? So
So,
I hope we get to talk
yeah, it's not
more.
like beat me up quietly. No, it's a
Mm-mm.
storm. I'm on you before you realize what's happening.
Well, shoot, if
If
you're
we
gonna
need
beat
to.
me up, at least holler at me or something. Say, didn't I tell you? Tell me something. Don't just beat me and not say nothing. That's
Yeah.
my little shot at being funny.
Oh,
But I don't have any more questions for you. I don't have anything else unless you got
well,
something. I appreciate you so much.
thank you
So,
very
so much.
much. I am a Carlos Machado Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I am his first black female um, black belt. Um, I am a United States Martial Arts Hall of Famer. You know that. Big on the National Sport Karate Museum, American Martial Arts Alliance Foundation, the Elite Global Martial Arts Hall of Fame, Meticulous Moment, the Gold Awards. That's the greatest of all times. And I'm not the greatest of all times. I just do things to impact. I make a mark with my martial arts. The AFKA, Alan Goldberg Martial Arts Hall of Fame, the Shogun International, and many, many more things that I get to walk.
Have you ever
And
been to
favor.
Asia?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not
I
yet.
can't wait till they see you.
Not yet.
But Africa or any of the foreign countries?
I've been to the Europe. I've been to France.
Mm.
Um, I have. Um, I want to go to Portugal next month
Oh, wow.
to compete, but I don't know if I'll be able to financially make that happen.
Mhm, mhm.
But if the finances come, I'm gonna.
We're gonna do
That
that.
storm is gonna, because I move. I continually move. I continually think that I can do that. So even when it looks like I'm not moving forward, I'm doing a
Forward.
1-2 step.
Yeah,
Right. I'm
I
just
do. I know what you mean
I'm
too.
moving.
I'm doing that too. Yeah,
So I'm never
yeah,
at rest. What
right.
I want to do, and
Yeah.
then back to the Vegas to compete. And there's people all around the world that you meet. There's people from Asia. There's people from Brazil. There's people
Mhm,
from Australia, from
mhm.
every continent. There's
Every
people from
continent.
Africa. There's
Mhm.
there's lots of
Right.
people that compete at the world. There's
Yeah.
like 15,000, competitors over a 3-day period.
Wow.
And it gets, yeah, it's really,
That's a lot.
that's a lot of people.
Yeah. And it's got to be a lot of matches going on at the same time
There's
because
lots
it's
of
happening in a 3-day
matches.
period.
hmm
Mhm.
There's like 30 matches going on at the same time for them, like the master level. There's like uh 20 or so matches going
Mm,
on the other side of the convention center. Of the novice or the
mm,
children are competing. There's this, and they're going back to back to back.
mm.
Mhm.
That's amazing. So is there anything I can do for you?
Mhm.
You don't know me well enough to know what I can do for
Yeah,
you.
yes, I do not. I read up a little bit, and I'm going to do some more research.
You
Um,
don't really have to, but if you need help or if you need something or if you need somebody to pray with you or on
oh
any
wow,
level, if it's something that I can do,
yes,
I'm gonna do it.
yes.
If
You're
there's
like a
something
new,
that I can do.
you're my new friend for sure. For
Okay, I'm excited. I'm excited. So I don't expect this magazine to come out for a couple of months. I'm thinking January or February
okay,
because I've been behind the eight ball with producing these magazines, and so I'm trying to go out early and do my interviews well before I need them. So
okay.
what happens is that I have these magazines and the online version, which is the most popular version. I usually
Mhm.
print less than 500,
Okay.
but the online version, I have this interview on so people can see it, and I'm gonna try to show you a little bit. Just so that you can see. Let me share my screen. Number 3. I don't know if you, oh, okay. So I think I'm sharing screen number 3.
hmm
And this is my web page,
Yes.
Gladiator Advocates. And that's the magazine, the one for this month, or the one for this month for
hmm
December is still
That's
coming
that's
out.
the one that
Right.
that's
But if you go to the magazine page, you can
hmm
see all of them, every
okay.
magazine that I've published so far. Let's say this one here. Um, wait, let's make it big. So here's his interview. So before every, I mean, so everything that I put in the article is on
Okay.
that interview. So in
Okay.
other words, even if I know you, I'm probably not gonna put anything in there. This is this one. I'm probably not gonna put anything in there that you didn't say
Okay.
on in that interview. I'm probably not, even if I know you, I'm probably not gonna write something in the article that you didn't say in that interview. And actually, people are really looking at those interviews.
All right.
And they're saying, "Oh, girl, I saw this interview and so and so and so and so, and she look at me. Let me tell you how she helped me." And it'll always be something that I didn't see coming. So,
Okay.
and if I didn't see it coming, then I didn't put it in the magazine. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yes.
That's just kind of my own technique. This really is scientific research going on, even though it has a purpose, and the purpose is to say that, wait a minute, we got to stop feeding our kids to these feeder systems.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time they get 19, their knees are blown. You need them 19, you need them knees your whole life, you know. Also, what happened is I was in the military. When I came out, any person that's in the military, one of the things that bothers them when they get out is to see people standing around doing nothing, drinking, and you know. in the
Mhm.
hood,
Mhm.
and seeing people begging and stuff. And the further
Right.
I got away from a military base, and the more I saw people panhandling, I just, because like maybe they might have on camouflage clothes or whatever. I thought those were military people, and sometimes they are. But as I began to really look at it closely, and like I travel a lot, so I might go to Ohio or I might go to New York, California. And it's like when every time I would get there, I'd see my cousins or whoever I was with would say, "Oh, go, you see that guy over there who's begging for money? Oh, he played for the
Wow.
Packers. He played for the Rams." I'm like,
Mhm.
"He's not in the army?" Oh no, those are just some clothes that he got on. Veterans have the VA. Not to brag on the VA because the VA has its
Yeah.
problems. But every time I walk in that VA, just walk in, someone will go, "Hey, Slim," even though I ain't that skinny. That's camaraderie that I
Yes.
have. That's a whole group of people that can identify with what I've gone through. And I don't
Mhm.
think athletes have that.
Mhm.
I don't think they have it. And so that's the beginning of this. That's what made me
Right.
start looking at it closely. It's because these are our children, even though they might be grown. We feeding our kids
Mhm.
to these systems, and they can trot off to the arena or to the mat, and they don't come home whole ever. Ever.
Yeah, I think investment, they don't teach them how to invest. Uh,
Oh, you reading this month's article? I'm already written this month, and
oh, okay.
so
Yeah,
I
don't teach them how
interviewed
to
a beauty
invest.
queen.
Mm.
A couple days ago, I interviewed this girl who she's black, and she swears that she had gladiator complex just from pageants,
Mhm.
because people are so cutthroat. So I interviewed her and I said, you say you've got the complex. I'm not saying you do. I'm not saying you don't. I want to see. But when I started talking to her, she said, I had to invest in a coach. I had to invest in a PR firm. I invested in an attorney to look it up. I'm like, that's it. Invest in your own, invest. That language of invest is completely different and completely reframes the story
Yes.
as opposed to saying, well, I was selected, I
Mhm.
got chosen, the coach picked me. Well, that investing language is a whole different, it's just so
Yeah.
you're ahead of the game. You already know about this investment,
Mhm.
but you're talking about investing financially
Mhm.
and things like
And
that.
keep
And
them
that's
all.
what I'm talking about when I'm saying when children
Mhm.
are children, we need to be teaching them
Mhm.
communication strategies.
There's life after the mats. That's not the only
Yes.
thing going on.
Right,
Yes.
right, 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 right. That's exactly what I'm talking
Mhm.
about. I love your cliches. I'm going to try and pick up on them and have them listed in like in bold print or something.
Cool.
And I
Oh,
don't know what else to say except for that. Thank you, and you're so outstanding. And I've learned a great deal from talking to you. Thank
thank you so much.
you. And
Thank
I'll
you
be
so much,
talking to
Dr.
you again.
Roberts.
I'll call you or I'll be looking for your address when we do print so that I
Okay.
can send you some copies of the book that
Okay.
you'll have ready access to it the minute it goes online.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it very much. And again, I'm eternally grateful for the opportunity always to speak.
Oh, you want to speak? Okay, I'll invite you down here to do some speaking. Okay. All
That's
right.
not a problem either.
Okay, you can find Oklahoma City by yourself, huh?
Yep.
Okay, then I'm probably going to try and find, especially since now that I know how much you love the Lord. The most of the
Mhm.
stuff I do is centered around God,
Yes.
Jesus, that
Yeah.
thing, the Holy
Okay.
Ghost.
All right.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, Miss Lynn. Bye bye.
Love you.
Love you more.
Oh, I love you the most.
Oh, okay.
See you later.
Yes,
Blessings.
ma'am.
Okay,
Bye
bye-bye.
bye.
So I want to be sure and tell Chat GPT that much of the time during this interview, Professor Kim Blake was teary-eyed, and she spoke very, very softly. And I need that to show up in my writing and in the article.